Back here on the Bernie and Sid Show, heard everywhere on the 77 WABC app. And we're honored weekly to be joined by, well, one of the king of all media. Not one, he is the king of all media. Big Bad Bill O'Reilly, and he's got a new book out. It's called The United States of Trump. He's going to be at the Paramount Theater in Huntington on December 15th. Sid and I will be in attendance as well. It's going to be a night. It's called Understanding Trump. It's going to be a fun night, December 15th at the Paramount in Huntington. And Mr. O'Reilly also has a column out at BillO'Reilly.com, his highly successful website. It's called The Hit. And, Bill, good morning to you, sir.
Hey, Warren Zevon, one of my favorites.
Very good.
Local London.
No doubt.
Very good. He was great. He was great. He actually did a couple of Guns N' Roses songs, too, before he died, and he was one of the all-time greats.
One of the best quotes from him as he was dying, he said, "Enjoy every sandwich."
He did say that, didn't he?
He really did.
That's a great quote.
So, he's a regular guy, and the lyrics are just terrific. So the column, The Hit, is basically why the Democrats are going through this impeachment thing. And, it's not fair to all of us. That's what I'm trying to get across to my viewers on BillO'Reilly.com. This is not fair to the country because there is no crime. They're in search of a crime. And the people who are lodging the objections to the phone call are partisan people. And they're not people who are looking out for their country. They're people who are trying to gain power. And so, we have 330 million Americans, most of whom are good people, just trying to make a living, trying to raise their families, and they need honest leadership, right? Would everybody agree with that?
Everybody.
Yes.
So what's honest about this? What? Even if Trump did the worst, let's take the worst case scenario, that he called the president of Ukraine and said, look, dig up some dirt on Biden. I think he's a corrupt guy. And help us out because we have a Justice Department investigation in motion. Even if he did that, so what? If Biden didn't do anything, all right, there's no problem because Ukraine will go, we don't have anything. There's nothing happened, all right? And then, all right, so he held back some aid for 2 weeks. Is that what you're telling me? And, of course, the other side has, and you've heard it 1,000 times, has their point of view. This is why we did it. This is why we did it. But the key to this is in The United States of Trump, my new book. Donald Trump's so obsessed with finding out if Barack Obama tried to undermine his campaign and his presidency that he is crazed. All right, Donald Trump is crazed because he believes in his heart, whether it's true or not, this is what he believes, that Barack Obama himself directed the Russian collusion stuff and all of that. And Biden's tied in to that. And that's why he made the phone call. And that's the bottom line on all of this. And we'll all know when the Justice Department comes back with its investigation in the spring.
Yeah, and this may be, some people are surmising this is a preemptive strike against that to blunt the effect of that. But, Bill, this vote today, now, does this really give the president the due process that everybody's been clamoring for?
But this is a good thing for Trump today. It's a good thing that they're having this vote. Do you know why, guys?
Well, I think so, but go ahead. We want to hear it from you.
All right, okay. Because the worse they conduct themselves in the House,
that's right,
the easier it is for the Republican senators to acquit him and throw the thing out.
Right.
Sure.
That's going to happen anyway. I mean, look.
Right, but it makes it easy.
Right.
So McConnell can say there was no due process, there was a violation of every tenet of American justice, so we're going to take a vote right now whether we should even hear this, and the vote is going to go in Trump's favor and go by. That's a day.
Yeah.
So the more unreasonable the Democrats are, the more secret they are, the more Schiff gets out there. And by the way, I am trick-or-treating this evening as Adam Schiff. Do you know how hard it is to get a shirt 3 sizes too big for me?
Yeah. And get that neck shrunk.
I mean, And I am scaring the urchins. I mean, I just mentioned I was doing that and people screamed. But if you come trick-or-treating, you too, come to my house tonight trick-or-treating. In addition to very good snacks that I have for you, I'm giving everyone an Impeach the Media bumper sticker.
Impeach the Media.
Which I have on BillO'Reilly.com.
Impeach the media. That's
Impeach
great.
the media.
Love that.
And I want secret hearings. I want Jake Tapper tied up in a chair, hit with a wet towel.
In the basement. Yes.
But here's where Trump gets the last laugh, which history did not afford the last two guys. Richard Nixon, of course, resigned after he was impeached. Bill Clinton was already in his second term after he was impeached. So they'll impeach this guy in the House. It'll die in the Senate, but he'll get the last laugh, Bill, when he wins again.
Yeah, but I mean, all that obviously is speculation. And just, you have to, and we talked about this last week, you have to go back and look at the toll, the human emotional toll that this takes on Donald Trump. Because people think he's a robot and he's a vampire, he never sleeps and all that. But, the last chapter of the United States of Trump, the man showed me emotion for the first time in 30 years, and that was after the Russian collusion thing came in. He was relieved. And then he was philosophical and introspective, which he never is. All right? And now he has to go through this again. So the emotional toll that it takes not only on Donald Trump, but anyone in that position. I mean, if you look at Abraham Lincoln when he whirled into Washington as president-elect, and you look at him 4 years later, right before his assassination, the man aged 30 years in 4.
Yeah.
And Trump, you can't tell whether he's aging because he has all the orange stuff on his face and the hair. I don't know what color it is today. So you can't tell. But underneath that, I think he's aging.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Look, it's got to be taken its toll. The man is human. Bill,
that's right.
Your column, The Hit, it also talks about the takedown of Baghdadi and the reaction from the media and the Democrats diminishing the import of what occurred. The Washington Post calling him an austere religious figure. You point that out very, very well. And also the Osama bin Laden hit and one major dissenter that nobody really knows about this.
It's so comical at this point. It's a tragic comedy that a very fine newspaper at one time, the Washington Post, all right, even though the Washington Post was in the tank for John F. Kennedy, and it was not nearly what they portrayed it as, now is doing this kind of stuff. I mean, that would be like saying that Joseph Goebbels was an austere, secular figure in World War II.
Right.
You're just looking at these people and you're going, look, this is foolish. You must know this is foolish, right? Would you assume that they know it's foolish and they do it anyway? That's what's perplexing. So would you assume that CNN knows it looks stupid every night, parading out a panel of 16 morons who all hate Trump, and then one hapless guy they pay to get in and get the hell beat out of him? Wouldn't they think does anybody think that that's real news coverage? So, I mean, I'm sitting back here and I'm going, the media's collapsed, the political process is on the verge of collapse. We don't get honest analysis or even the facts. We don't even get the facts presented honestly anymore. And that's bad for the country. It may be funny, we can make fun of it, but it's terrible for we, the people.
It is, and it was on display Sunday night. I don't know if you saw it. I'm sure you did, Bill. 60 Minutes, our friend Nora O'Donnell, who we happen to like, she interviewed Joe Biden. And at one point during the conversation, she actually started to play the video where Joe Biden, in fact, says, fire this guy, you're not getting that money, and son of a bitch was fired, blah, blah, blah. She actually stopped playing the video and just ran silent B-roll just about the part where Biden clearly implicates himself in this corrupt scandal. And she's asking Biden questions about it. Did you see how ridiculous and blatant that was?
I saw it. Now, I'm going to brag a minute here. I'm a cocky guy, so.
Okay.
All right, look. The reason that my program, The O'Reilly Factor, was on top for 16 years is because I didn't ask stupid questions and I didn't dodge the important stuff. Because I knew and was prepared for every answer that the guest across from me would give. It wasn't the question that was important. It was the answer. And one of the reasons I beat Larry King out of the box, because Larry King never listened to the answer. He was too busy trying to figure out what he's going to ask next. He was always looking down at his paper. I went into interviews with no questions, but I anticipated what the person would say. Everybody knows that Joe Biden walked into the 60 Minutes interview with a rehearsed answer on Ukraine and Hunter, right? He rehearsed it.
Yes.
Here's what you do. And Nora O'Donnell, whether she is up to this or not, I don't know. I know her, all right? She's a professional, but whether she's up to this, I don't know. You walk in and you look at Joe Biden and you go, Mr. Vice President, are you aware of how bad your conduct with Ukraine made this country look?
Sure.
Just like that.
That is it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the only question you ask. And off his answer, which he couldn't have prepared, whatever he says, no, I'm not aware, and then you go, you kidding me? Or, yes, I am aware, and then you go, well, do you want to apologize? Or, come on. You knew that your son was involved with this country, and you knew that there was no reason for him to be involved. You can say he's an adult, but he's your son. You're the vice president. And it makes us look bad, does it not? See, that's the kind of interview that I used to do all the time, and that's why people tuned in. Now, you don't never get that. You get yelling and browbeating and predictable questions that the politicians could swat away with the back of their hand. And that is why we have deteriorated in the media in America.
You're exactly right. And that's what makes you great, Bill O'Reilly. She's up to the task, by the way. She's just one part of the dishonest media.
But remember, her bosses don't want that.
Right, correct. Exactly. Yeah, she's part of it, part and parcel.
Right, she's part of the cabal that sees Trump as evil and the ends justify the means to get rid of him. So if she were to do that and disassemble Joe Biden, she could never go to another cocktail party in Washington again.
No, you're 1,000% correct, Bill. The Osama bin Laden hit. Vice President Joe Biden advised Barack Obama not to do it. That's what came out in your column that a lot of people are unaware of, and nobody asked him about that either.
No, because, again, Joe Biden is now in a position where the media is rooting for him. It was just incredible to me that Biden was the lone dissenter in the Obama cabinet of not going after bin Laden, and because he's in Pakistan. What? I don't care where he is. All right, he could be in heaven. You got to go after him. Okay, so you're right. The media's not going to bring that up. We've had 3 debates so far. Anybody ask him that question? No.
Hell no.
Right, and that's what we'll go back to my original thing. That's why the country's not being well served by the political process or the media.
Bill O'Reilly, the book is The United States of Trump. December 15th, he'll be at the Paramount in Huntington. Understanding Trump is the what it's entitled, and it's going to be a fun night. Sid and I will be there December 15th. Bill O'Reilly, The Hit at BillO'Reilly.com. Thank you, Bill. We appreciate it.
All right, we're going to have a lot of laughs in Huntington, and I really appreciate you guys helping me out.
No, we can't wait. We really can't wait. So thank you, Bill. You're the best. The great Bill.